For part 1 of the Chapter 3 assignment, I chose to focus on N-arthrodial joints. An N-arthrodial joint is a multi-axial joint, meaning it has multiple planes of motion. An example would be the glenohumeral or shoulder joint. The typical movements that an N-arthrodial joint can perform are flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, internal rotation, and external rotation, which I will demonstrate. For each movement of the shoulder joint or glenohumeral joint, I will explain the agonist and antagonist muscles. For flexion of the shoulder, the agonist is the deltoid and the antagonist is the latissimus dorsi. For extension of the shoulder, these two would just be reversed. So, the agonist would be the latissimus dorsi and the antagonist would be the deltoid. For abduction of the shoulder, the agonist is the supraspinatus and the antagonist is the pectoralis major. Once again, for adduction, it would just be flip-flopped. So the agonist would be the pectoralis major and the antagonist would be the supraspinatus. For internal rotation of the shoulder, the agonist is the subscapularis and the antagonist is the infraspinatus. And once again, it's flip-flopped for external rotation of the shoulder. So the agonist would be the infraspinatus and the antagonist would be the subscapularis. For part 3 of this assignment, I will be explaining the muscle contraction for each of the following activities: elbow flexors during down phase of bench press, knee extensors during up phase of a squat, ankle plantar flexors pressing on the gas pedal, and core muscles during a plank exercise. And I will demonstrate each of these movements. So for elbow flexors during the down phase of bench press, the elbow flexors would be in an eccentric muscle contraction phase because your elbow is being flexed during this phase, so the length of the elbow flexors is increasing as tension is produced. For the knee extensors during up phase of a squat, this would be an eccentric muscle contraction for the knee extensors because you are returning to a standing position, meaning that the muscle is lengthening as tension is being produced. For ankle plantar flexors pressing on a gas pedal, this would be a concentric muscle contraction because the plantar flexors are shortening for the foot to be able to produce that movement to press on the gas pedal. And lastly, for the core muscles during plank exercise, this is an isometric contraction, meaning that the muscles are neither lengthening nor shortening, so they are basically just stabilizing the body. For the last part of this assignment, I will be giving examples for each of the lever types: first class, second class, and third class. And I will also be demonstrating these movements. So for the first class lever, an example of this would be the triceps brachii and extending the elbow. The force would be the triceps brachii, the resistance would be the non-supported forearm, and the axis of rotation would be the elbow joint. For the second class lever, an example would be the gastrocnemius and soleus and plantar flexing the foot to raise the body onto the toes off of the ground. So the force would be the gastrocnemius and the soleus contracting. The resistance would be the weight of the body pushing down due to gravity, and the axis of rotation would be the metatarsophalangeal joint, or MTP joint. For the third class lever, biceps brachii and brachialis and flexing the elbow, this would be an example. So the force would be the biceps brachii and brachialis contracting. The resistance would be gravity, and the axis of rotation would be, once again, the elbow joint.